Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Flow podcast. I am your host, Geneva Zulu, and as always, we're here to spark open and honest conversations around menstrual health, gender equality, youth leadership, youth empowerment, and everything in between. Now, today's episode is a special one. We're joined by a foundation that not only aims at empowering girls, but boys also, reminding us that purpose, leadership, and empathy are universal gifts. So, joining us today is an organization, a founder, the founder of Her Gift and His Gift Foundation, an organization that believes in nurturing the unique potential in every young person. Let's get into it. Hello and welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
I'm
so happy to be here.
And look at us talking at the same time. It shows that we're just both so excited to be here. So
Yes.
thank you so much for joining us. I've wanted you to be on the show for such a long time. Before I get into that, please introduce yourself.
All right. I'm also very much excited to be here. I was
Mhm.
looking forward. And my name is Catherine Christy Phiri. I'm the founder and CEO of Her Gift and His Gift Foundation.
Okay,
Yeah.
amazing, Catherine. Like I said, I've wanted you to be on the show for like 2 months now. If I'm being honest, like 2 months now. And someone had shared your contact with me, and they're
Okay.
like, "Oh, look her up. She's doing amazing work and whatever." And I'm like, okay. So I have been following you quite a bit. I'm just like, wow, okay, nice, so nice. Oh, this is amazing. And I'm really just passionate in building a community, like especially with youth advocates, youth
Sure.
that want to make a lot of noise for a good cause. I'm just like, hey, let's build a community because I love to co-create.
Oh,
I'm a
great.
big fan of guys, like if we work together, we
Yeah.
can make stuff happen.
Definitely.
I came across a video that said, as youth advocates, you should aim for co-creation. It's not a
Exactly.
competition. It is not a
Exactly.
race. You guys should actually work together, and that's what I love to do. So I'm so happy to have you here finally.
I'm excited and grateful to be here as well.
So
Thank you.
before we start,
Yeah.
we started doing this thing where we created a playlist on
Oh.
Spotify for Flow Podcast. So
Wow,
every
that's
guest,
interesting.
so every guest that comes on here
Yeah.
tells us what they're listening to. So we add their songs to our Spotify playlist.
Great.
So what are you listening to? What song are you doing?
Okay, I have been listening to K Strings.
K Strings.
Yes,
Okay, what
he's
song
a
is that?
gospel artist, and
Nice.
my favorite from his latest album is Rahama. Another one would be My Hallelujah by Brandon. Yeah, Brandon Lake. Hallelujah by Brandon Lake.
Okay, I found him. I found
great.
him. Adding right now. Give me one more.
Adele?
Okay, she's a lover girl.
Yes. We were young.
Okay. Really? The way I sing along to that song, like I was there when she was writing it.
I love it. It's one of my favorites.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I could add another one.
Yes.
Lauren Diego.
Lauren Diego.
Yes. I will rescue you.
Wow. I'm actually going to listen to these songs
These
after
are
the show.
very
This is
good.
like, okay, I will rescue you. I'm going to add the link to our YouTube so you guys can go there and just click and listen and enjoy this playlist because trust me, it's going to be fire. So yeah, let's dive into it. Let's start at the very beginning.
Yeah.
The very beginning of all of this. This is why we're here today. Could you tell us about her gift and his gift? Because
Okay.
behind the scenes, before the camera kept rolling, I kept asking you to say,
Yeah.
I thought it was like a Mrs. and Mr. kind of
Okay.
situation. So, like, tell us what inspired the creation of this foundation and what's behind the name.
Okay, so Her Gift and His Gift Foundation is a non-government organization whose objectives are focused on youth empowerment, women and girls' health, as well as environmental sustainability.
Lovely.
Yes. So it's a diverse kind of institution that embraces different cultures, but at the end of the day, their objective is to create impact by giving opportunities to young people to find meaning in their lives through the skills that they have been blessed with, the gifts that they have. If we have writers, we encourage them through programs that they can engage in. Lovely. Yes, if we have entrepreneurs, because you understand that entrepreneurship is not just about selling something that is tangible. Of course. It's about the services that you are offering to the community, to the public, and the solutions that you are bringing. Yeah. So if your gift is in the area of writing, that is also a form of a service. Of a service, yes, which you can turn into an entrepreneurship venture. Yes, and away from that, also, I'm passionate about women and girls' health. Personally, I have always wanted to have an organization that only deals with women and girls, but I also realized that personally, God has blessed me with more than just what I can offer to the girl and the woman. I think there is a lot that God has deposited in me. That's why I thought, okay, this is something that even the other gender can benefit from. And also, I'm a professional environmental health technologist. I'm passionate about the environment, the health of the environment, and just how we can protect the earth in general. So that's how the concept of sustainability comes in. And also that being backed by the aspect of us engaging into reusable sanitary pads projects, where we train young people how to make reusable sanitary pads. We produce and sell sanitary pads. Lovely. Yes, and nice. That promotes the idea of sustainability, not just sustainable sustainable healthy environment, but sustainable health, sustainable finances, sustainable development as a whole. Exactly. So that's what I get to. You've just blown my mind because what you're doing is amazing. I did not realize the depth of this foundation. Really? Honestly, like you really just undersell it. Honestly, you do. Thank you. I'm not even saying that in a bad way. Like you really just undersell it. This is amazing. Like I'm listening to you speak, and I was like, oh my God. I'm grateful to hear that. Like a lot of people need to jump on this with you. How long have you been in existence? Because what are you doing? Okay, so Her Gift and His Gift Foundation has been in existence since 2023 on the 3rd of June. Yes, that was the inception of Her Gift and His Gift Foundation, where we met with a few colleagues of mine and just people who were interested in the idea when I shared to them. We met at Piato and we got into discussing the concept, and that's how we thought, okay, this is something that the community really needs, the nation needs it, and who knows, we could go global. Yeah, of course, multinational foundation. Yes. Amazing. Exactly. So, like, I want to know what sparked this vision. Like, what was that moment for you? Like, how did it come about? Did you just wake up one day and decide, I should do something? What should I do? And you called up your friends, say, hey girl, let's meet up and la 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 la. So what was that for you? What was your drive? Is it something that you constantly saw every day on your way to school, on your way to work? What was it? Okay, so at the age of 12, I had conceived something, and that was an NGO idea. I just saw myself having this big organization that would impact a lot of young people and impact the nation as well. So for me, the idea was to bring something that is going to be focusing on the girl, because I've always dealt with girls. Yes, and I was brought up in a space where I was raised by a man. So I didn't really have, yes, I was raised by a single man who happens to be my uncle. Shout out to the girl dads out there. Yes. So I was always looking for a space where I would engage with women and girls. Oh. Yes. So as I continued praying and just asking for more direction, that was after college. That's when I now decided to say, okay, I'm going to take this seriously. That's in 2019. Actually, I was still in college. In 2019, I wrote the vision down. Yes, I wrote it down and I continued praying over it. Then 2020, I graduated and I was now working with Young Women Christian Association, an organization that deals with women. YWCA. Okay. Yeah. So YMCA is from the yeah. So YWCA now just brought everything to light. Yes. Because there I found my place of relevance. I began to understand to say, okay, it's not just about the spiritual component of impact that God wanted to do through her gift and gift foundation, or through the idea that I had. Actually, the idea was her gift 4G foundation. Yeah, so her gift 4G foundation was the idea from the inception. But when I sat down to share the idea with the people that showed interest, people requested that we could make it inclusive. Yes, and I thought it was a very good idea, and we adopted it from then. Yeah. So from YWCA, I learned a lot of skills. I learned a lot about myself. There's a lot of personal development that took place. I started attending trainings at the American Embassy and many other institutions like the Leaders Arise, Young Women Lead Foundation, and many other organizations that just impacted in me and made me understand to say this is what God had deposited in me. By the way, I always want to say this whenever I have an opportunity to speak. Whatever it is that you begin to see about yourself as you go on is not something new, because it's already in you. You get to understand that it's in you as you continue to understand life in the process of growth. God has deposited so much in us. It's not like we get to become something. No, you're already that. Yeah. So you only discover it. That is why it's important to take on a journey of personal discovery and self-awareness. I love that. That's I love that so much. I love that so much. I'm also a firm believer in, you didn't just stumble across something. You didn't just say, "Oh, I think it's a new." No, it's always been in there. Sometimes you just need a little push. Sometimes you just need like self belief. Everybody needs to take up that journey, buy that ticket, take that journey of self discovery. Yeah, go to that meeting. Exactly, so amazing. And I love the fact that you said you had this dream, you had this vision, you had this, and then you wrote it down. Yes. I love the fact that you said you wrote it down. Yeah. Because if you have a vision and if you write it down, it becomes a plan. Exactly, it becomes a plan. Exactly, it becomes a plan. The moment you write that thing down, then that is the beginning. It's the first step for everything. And you work towards it, it becomes a goal. Amazing. I love that so much. So I know I keep circling around this, but I really just need to dive into it. Okay, great. The fact that I understand that it's her gift and his gift. Yeah. But why gift? Aspect of gift. What does this represent to you, and how has it shaped the way you work or the work you do? Okay, so it's a gift because it is not about me. It's about what I am giving. God has given me so that I can give. Yeah. So whenever we hear about a gift, we get excited because this is a time for me to get impacted in some way, or it's a time for me to receive something. It's a time for me. It's a moment that always excites people whenever they hear about the term gift. So that is why I got motivated to name the project Her Gift and Gift Foundation. But also, like you explained in your introduction, there's a deposition that God has put in each and every one of us. That is the different and unique gifts that we have that God wants us to extend to the next person. And the best vision or the best theme that we can ever adopt for something that is about impacting someone else out there, or you yourself being impacted, is the term gift. Because a gift it's like a package. It has a lot. Yeah. Yes, you understand, of right? Course. It's a package that has so much that people can benefit from. So much to give. Yes, so much to give away. I love it. Amazing. Thank you. It's like right there, right on the nose. Thank you. So let's look at it a little bit more. Sustainability is something that a lot of youth-led initiatives struggle with. You start, you stop, you start. Yeah, true. The vision gets distorted somewhere along the lines. And you're like, okay, I don't know where to go from here. What do we do now? This is what I wanted to do, but then this struggle is, all of those things. So what keeps your foundation motivated and active in the communities you serve? Okay, so first of all, I must make mention that Her Gift in Its Gift Foundation wouldn't be a possible thing without the audience or the team that has been pushing it. It's not about me as a founder. There's a lot of people behind the scenes that have been working. They maybe not necessarily physically, but even just their advice. Whatever they pour into whatever they pour into it is what keeps it standing. There's been a lot of um it's been like a roller coaster, I would say. Yes. Yeah. There were days when there was no content, there was no activity, there was no money, there was no people available. But also, I have learned that when God has, when something has been birthed from the source, who is God, there's nothing that can stop it, because He Himself will keep it going. And that's the biggest source of strength that her gift has ever had to lean on in those moments where things didn't really seem to be the way they needed to be. Yes, otherwise it has been a roller coaster. It's been hard, but the source will sustain it. I know. That's absolutely amazing. I'm trying not to break out into church and say hallelujah, but hallelujah. Honestly, it's amazing because, first of all, when you are starting something, nobody really anticipates the lows that you will face. Yes. People on the outside will maybe think you have it easy, or you have it all figured it out, or like, let's say if people see what you're doing now and what you've done, they're like, it looks easy. It looks very easy. If she can do it, I can do it. Or like, or maybe like, oh, you're in it for the money. Exactly. Or like, it's all sorts of things because it's hard. It is. It's hard, but then if you're doing this to serve people, to serve the community, and you have this fire burning in your chest, and you say, look, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I don't have the team. I don't have the resources. But look, yes. if there's a person to dream, there's a God to answer. Exactly. I love that so much. So, what struggles have you faced in the beginning and today? The biggest struggle for me was starting. That was the greatest challenge that I ever had. Yeah. Then that's the challenge that most people have. Yeah. Just that, with getting to that place where you start. Yeah. That is the most difficult thing to do. Yeah. Whatever comes after that is not as difficult as taking an idea into something that is actually being actualized. So starting was very hard because the time I conceived Her Gift and His Gift Foundation, okay, not the time I conceived, but the time that I was now making moves towards having it as an established foundation, I was still working full time with an NGO. So how was I going to balance my work and also my personal projects? Yeah, that was a very big challenging thing to do. And then I had to really pray through it as always. Yeah. But I had to make a decision that would not just benefit me, but would also benefit other people. And I looked at it in such a way that I was looking at my job and I was like, okay, I love this job. This job is sustaining me. It's paying my bills. It's doing A, B, C, D. But then if I needed to make impact, my job wasn't going to be enough for me to make that impact, because your job is mostly about you and what you want. Then I looked at the project. If I step out and make this project a reality, I would lose out on the job, yes, but I would be creating opportunities for a lot of other young people, because it's not about me. It's about the people that I'm impacting. I was getting into entrepreneurship away from the job aspect of my life, and entrepreneurship is about service. So because I'm passionate about service, I didn't want to be in a space where I'm limited, like I'm in a shell and I'm the only person that is having the warmth in that shell. Yeah, so I was looking at a larger platform that will allow me to like impact more young people. Yeah, the institution that I was working with really exposed me to impactful programs while I was still working with them, I would impact young girls in different schools and communities. But I thought to myself, okay, yes, this is good. This is, I'm getting exposure here and there and impacting a number of girls. But what if I started something that would not just give impact in form of my service, but also allow young people to get even jobs at the end of the day?
That's amazing. And now I'm starting to think, guys, like, advocacy is a calling.
It is.
You need to have the stomach for it. You need to have the heart for it, because oh, like you have mentioned, you were working for an organization, but then you still had this thing. The thing with dreams and goals is it won't give you peace until you act on it.
Yes, exactly.
And then there's always like a sacrifice that needs to be made. What do you need to give up? Who do you need to give up? Who do you need to become for you to achieve this? It takes a lot, and you need to be called.
You definitely need to.
Yeah.
Because later I had to make the decision to quit my job, which put me on open sun. But like I said, if the idea has been birthed from God, who is the source, God knows how to sustain it. So I would outline the many challenges that I have first, but I always say the biggest challenge is taking the first step. That is to start. So if there's anybody out there, you've got this idea and you're struggling on how you're going to run through the whole process, how you're going to get to point A and B. To be honest with you, the biggest worry you should have right now is about you starting, because the moment you just start, whatever will come after that will align itself.
Of course.
Yeah. So that's what I can say about
of course.
challenges.
That's amazing. But then, however, one thing that nobody ever says is that starting is also hard.
Yes.
Starting is very hard.
Very hard.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not just okay, I'm gonna do it today.
It's very hard.
Yeah, it would take a lot.
Yes.
But as long as you keep getting up every day and put one foot in front of the other, you will look back and say, "Oh my God, this is how far I've come."
How far I've come.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
So, your foundation takes a unique, inclusive approach, working with boys and girls, which is what we have adopted ourselves. We recently had a menstrual health and well-being workshop at Kamanga School, which included boys. I remember when we were sharing posters and calling for donations, I had some people like in my inbox who were like, I bet when they're watching this, like, why is she talking about me? The people in my inbox were like, I don't get why you're including boys.
Okay.
I don't get why I have to donate and boys are going to be there. It's not like boys are menstruating. And how is this benefiting them? What purpose is this going to serve and whatever? Or some people, even like a few episodes that especially the last one where I just let it all out. And, some men and some boys are really still uncomfortable with talking about menstruation and menstrual health and whatever. So they still feel that they're not supposed to be part of the conversation. So for me, I'm just like, not even for me, but like, guys, it's 2025.
Yes.
And we need to include more men, more boys to the conversation. And also, a boy child does matter.
Exactly.
Okay. In as much as this boy child is not menstruating, but his well-being matters as well.
Yes.
So we need to include them to the group chat and we need to talk to them. So this is such a unique approach that you also, as Her Gift and His Gift Foundation, are doing. So why is this important to you?
Okay, so I must make mention that policies, that's like a policy that we have. And I must make mention that inclusion is not a policy that was just set by Her Gift and His Gift Foundation. The United Nations Charter, which is like the major global body that gives policies to regions and then regions to nations, recognized the aspect of menstruation to be something that is not just a woman issue or a girl's issue in 2021 when they met to discuss as a Congress. And they also considered the fact that menstruation not being a boy or a girl and woman issue only, actually makes it a humanity issue. And if it is a humanity issue, then everybody must be involved. Yes, because in one way or another, the boy and the man out there will still be affected. Yes, by menstruation.
Yeah, that's amazing. So could you share that one moment that really just reminded you why your work matters?
There is a lot that I can point out, and one thing that I would really like drift out from all that I can point out is the aspect of uh, the marginalized communities. Yes, there are a lot of marginalized communities that are not always privileged to get the services that people who are in advanced communities do have. Let's say if for example, if I have a boy or maybe a girl who comes from a marginalized community, you find that the schools are not developed there. So even the services that the schools are offering out there are very limited or are not up to quality. But if you check out someone who is coming from a very prestigious residential area, you will also discover that they are coming from advanced schools, and mostly you will find that they get a lot of services that people from the marginalized communities do not have. And that is like the passion that I have that has been driving me has always been to serve the less privileged, the ones that are not usually considered in the community or in a nation, those people that don't really get the opportunities. And that is why we are always reaching out to lower income communities or those communities that are not so privileged. Yeah, I would say so.
Okay. Yeah. Amazing. That's so amazing. So, in your work, in your reaching out to those communities, how do you nurture the gifts that you give to these young people who you work with?
Okay, in the first place, there must be recognition from the person that is getting our service. They must be able to recognize that they have that gift inside of them. They must, for there are situations where sometimes you need to wait on people to point out certain things in you that you do not know you have. Yeah. And that's okay. But when that point comes, when that moment happens, you have to accept it. You have to recognize it. Yeah. Until you recognize it, and then it is easy for us to now be able to nurture that in you. So it's usually based on the approach that you take it, that you look at it from. If you recognize that you have this gift and you are ready to put in the work that needs to be put in, and you're ready to work with the people that need to help you, you make it easy for us. Yes, so we nurture it by opening up opportunities for you where you could get mentorship. So before we can give you any other service or before we can undertake any session, wherever we are given an opportunity, we always start with personal development, because we want you to discover the potentials, the gifts that you have, and how you can just allow that to bloom.
Amazing. It's beautiful. Well
Thank you.
put.
Thank you.
So, we often say at Flow Podcast that menstrual health is not a women's issue, and you actually highlighted that. So, thank you very much, guys. We don't just say things; somebody else had to say it.
And the United Nations,
right? The UN had to say it.
Yes.
So, yeah, which is very special to us. Yes. And for you, how does your foundation tie the conversation about menstruation into leadership, purpose, and gender equality? Okay, so I would embark on leadership first of all. So leadership is not necessarily having a position that being in a position of authority where like you just command this and that. Leadership is about service. Yes, a leader actually serves. So women being the object that is really attached to this menstruation aspect of it,
have served in so many things in the home, in the church, in the school, wherever you find a woman, you find her serving. So that is leadership. Yes. And one of the things that affect women's ability to lead in those special areas where they are expected to lead is menstruation. And if that is ignored, women will not be able to stretch out to the different environments that need them, because menstruation can really limit women if they do not have the right resources to use, if they do not have the right care, if they do not have the right health information. And that all makes it possible for the women to now take up that position of leadership and be able to do what they're supposed to do. Yeah,
That's amazing.
That's on the aspect of leadership.
That's such a powerful connection. So, many young people struggle to talk about their bodies changing or periods. For instance, when some girls come of age, they're scared to say or to tell their moms or their aunts or whoever. Like for you, for instance, you were raised by a man.
Exactly.
What did you do when you got your period?
Okay, I must make mention that the man who brought me up took it upon himself not to be afraid to speak to me about the reality that I would engage in later at a certain stage. So he spoke about it to me and my sisters at the age of 9. I learned about menstruation first time from him.
Wow.
So he was a very present parent, very present father. He would have conversations with us. He just call us and make us sit down and begin to talk to us about the different things that would happen as we go on, the things that were happening around us. He would tell me, that as you grow old, your breasts are going to grow. You will become slender. Your voice will become A, B, C, D, and stuff. And maybe guys will look at you, they will want to touch you, and you have to know that there's harassment, there's a way that a man is supposed to talk to you, and there is menstruation. At the end of the day, you're going to start menstruating because you've got eggs inside of your body, and those eggs will break. And at that point, you now know that you have matured into a woman who is capable of getting pregnant and giving birth to a child.
Wow. So when you got it, did you say, "Hey, Dad"?
So when I started, it was during rainy season, and I used to play a lot in the water. So the first thing that came to my mind was bilharzia, because we were learning about bilharzia in grade 6.
That's hilarious.
Yes, so I was thinking, is this bilharzia? Maybe I'm now I've been infected because I've been playing in the dirty water and stuff. And then I ignored it the first time because it was early in the morning when I woke up. I wanted to pee, and then I discovered that there was some blood stain on my panty. So it was just like a spot. So I ignored it until later, after 3 months. That was December, and then March, it now came with full force.
With full force.
Yes. It now came with full force. I was at school. And I was just not feeling my body. I got very sick. And then I stood up to just ask the teacher so that I could just get some air outside. And a friend of mine looked at my dress, and it was messed up.
Oh, was it an all-girls school? Oh,
no, it wasn't an all-girls school.
Both boys and girls?
Yes, but I was so fortunate because I sat where the next person was a girl. Yeah, so she looked at me and she was like, "Please remove your jersey and just tie it in your waist." And I was like, "What's happening?" She's like, "Okay, let's go outside." So then she now began to talk to me about, she was older, she was like a young adult. Then we're in grade 6, but she was
in grade 6?
Yes, in grade 6.
Who are you?
I think I was 11.
What?
Yes.
Oh.
I was 11 turning 12, I think. Yeah. So she now began to tell me, saying, "This is what is happening," and I understood because I had the information when my uncle told me about it. Yeah. So she now asked me to. She went to ask for permission for me to go, and that's how she escorted me home.
Oh. I'm so sorry that you got your period at school.
Yes.
Oh my god, I got it at home, and I'm so glad I got it at home because if I was like in your position, I would have been petrified.
Yeah.
So, away from that, how does your work help normalize these conversations, like the one we just had, and especially among boys and men?
Okay, our work has been able to make this a normal thing to discuss because we also have the support of the Ministry of Education, who have also acknowledged the importance of having this information as a very serious subject, which does not only have to involve the boys but also the girls, but also the boys, because our girls, for instance, in the schools where they go, they interact with boys. At home, we have our brothers that we interact with. I personally was raised by a man, and if the man didn't have the knowledge, he wouldn't be in a position to teach me about it. And also, we have to recognize the fact that if information is not talked about, people end up getting it from the wrong sources. If the right institutions are not giving this information, the younger people will now get the information from wrong sources. And now we have social media, we have an advanced we have advanced systems that are teaching young people on different things. And if we just leave it to those systems,
Plus with the misconceptions that come along with that.
And especially the fact that menstruation has really been looked at as something that has a lot of misconceptions, beliefs, and stigma that surrounds it. There is need for uh, larger institutions to just uphold it and help
make it a normal thing
by giving the right information out there.
Yes, amazing. So you also emphasized on mentorship, right? What kind of mentorship models have worked best for helping young people discover their personal and spiritual purpose?
Okay, so the first I would point out is the model of personal development. Yes, we really focus much on you as a being, because at the end of the day, whatever it is that we do, it's not necessarily about what we are going to get out of it. It's not necessarily about what we are going to give out of it, but what you become as an individual. Yes. And that's like the main object that God focuses on. When God trusts you with something, it's not necessarily about what you're gonna get from that, but who you become. So you really have to be intentional about your personal development. And that's why we take that aspect of mentorship very serious. And also the environment that surrounds us. Mostly the environment is neglected, but we coexist with nature. And it's important that we also learn how we can take care of nature. So we dive into that through the aspect of sustainability and how we can just make Earth a safe place for everybody to exist.
Amazing.
Not just as humans, but natural resources.
Amazing. Nicely put.
Thank you.
So, let's talk partnerships, right? Partnerships and are such a big part of growth and impact. I think in the beginning of this interview, I spoke about co-creation, right? So, what does a meaningful partnerships look like for you?
Okay, so for me, meaningful partnership is partnership that considers both parties. Yeah, mostly when people are given an opportunity to partner with a particular institution, the first thing that is in their mind is, what am I going to get? But remember that the reason why it's called partnership is not about what you will get. It's about what you are going to do together. What impacts will the both parties make by coming together? So it's very important that as you are getting into partnership, you leave the self part of it a little bit backwards and focus much on what you're going to do together, what you're going to benefit together as two teams that wants to serve a particular cause. Yes.
I guess you've answered my next question, because I was gonna say, how can organizations or youth initiatives work with you, including the Flow podcast, work with you to amplify young voices and bring real change? So, what would that look like if you had to break it down and simplify it?
Like for example, what you're doing right now. What we're doing here is not just going to remain history. We have poured out information that is on a television podcast. And this information is going to impact a lot of people. And this has only been made possible because we had to partner. You came in and provided the scene, and I'm here providing the information exactly, as well as your input too. Exactly. So I think that's the best example I could give right now. What is happening right now is what I would call the right kind of partnership that should take place. You come in with what you're able to put in. You come in, I come in with what I'm able to put in. But at the end of the day, it doesn't remain between the two of us. It has to be something that we extend beyond our coffers. The yes, audience that consumes it. Yeah, amazing. So we had spoken about the misconceptions, the stigma, and all these taboos. So barriers like stigma, of course, limit resources or cultural norms. They often stand in the way of gender equality. What are some of the biggest barriers you have faced, and how can communities come together? Okay, so for the barriers, to specific, make it specific, sounds a bit general. In terms of, would you make it specific, like in which aspect of service? Okay. Because you have done these donations, and you have created, you make and sell reusable sanitary products, right? Okay. And you have worked in remote communities. How have they been able to receive them? Because some communities are not really open to change or new things and stuff. Yeah. Okay, so the biggest barrier currently is the idea of people accepting the concept of reuse, especially for the sanitary pads. People are not so pleased by the idea of washing. Having something that is actually sustainable and can keep you for a long time. To touch their but blood. Yes, they are most people are uncomfortable with the aspect of having to wash the pads. But at the end of the day, it goes far beyond just you washing the pad, because I personally use both the disposable and reusable sanitary pads. Yeah. And whether I am using the disposable pad, I will still need to wash it. Yeah. That's how I manage my menstruation. I do not throw my blood just like that. Does it come with like a cultural thing? Because I used to do that. Okay. Yeah, I used to wash my disposable pads. Yes. Not because it was a thing that. Okay. Thing is, these things when you go in school and whatever. Yes. So I picked it up in uni, and I think a bunch of girls were talking about how they dispose their pads. Yes, like for me back home, I would just like burn them. Yeah. And then after I burn them, those ashes would just like throw them away somewhere, right? So now in uni, the girls were like, my mom told me that I have to wash my pad. Don't just throw it like that. You don't know where your blood is going to go. Especially if you're in school, you can't just throw your things like that. So I was listening, and I was scared. It was like, so you mean someone goes through the bin and then they take my blood? Exactly. So I was like, oh my God, where's my blood going to go? Yes, maybe I won't be able to have kids because someone's taking my So then I started doing it. I adopted it. And then someone else was like, that's disgusting. Why are you doing that? Why do you have to touch your blood? I was like, but it's my blood. Yes, it comes from inside of me. It's not disgusting. Yeah. But anyway, I don't know how that got phased out, but I don't do that anymore. Okay. So yeah, why do you do that? Okay, one of the reasons why I do that, I think it's easy to discard it right there and then after you have removed it. Not that you think someone will be with you. No. For me, what matters mostly is also the hygiene aspect of it. Because remember, if you're going to say you're going to burn your pads later, that means you have to pile them up. Yeah. So now, if you're going to consider the aspect of piling up the pads before you burn everything, because you're not going to manage to burn one today, the other one in the afternoon, you have to pile them up. Then I discovered that method of disposal requires you to keep those pads inside the house. If it's in your room, you would have to find a place where you can at least hide them. But you discover that the scent will still, the odor will still remain in the room. You may not feel it, you may not smell it, but when someone else enters the room, they will be able to get that odor, especially if they are very sensitive like me. They would get that there is an odor here. And if it's a woman, they would definitely know that this is disposable pad that is being kept. So that is not hygienic. Yes, because if you check after some time, you will find that there are some fleas around that same plastic. If you place it in a place where there is no moist, there is no air. Sorry, there is a moist environment. You find that there are even some fleas that are surrounding the same plastic, which is very dirty. So the best and easiest is you remove it. We have buckets that are usually made available in our bathrooms. You allow the water to run through it whilst it's in the bucket. If you've got a personal bucket that you can use, you allow the water to run through the pad, and everything will pour out in that bucket, and you'll be able to flush whatever it is, and then the remaining plastics can be thrown in the bin. Yes, I think it's hygienic like that.
Okay. So, and the communities in receiving these don't want to wash?
Yes, most people don't want to wash because they think, one back wash up, but it's the same thing. I think it's just the aspect of people always finding it hard to adapt to change. Yes, it takes consistency. So with time, everybody will be able to accept that this is the new and best way to do things, because we are also we're not just looking at ourselves as humans, we're also looking at our environment. If we continue burning, if we continue throwing, we are polluting the environment, we are degrading the quality of soil, we are degrading the quality of air, we're also degrading the quality of water, because those disposed pads in the bins will at some point run through the landfills, maybe the drainages. And when the water runs through the drainages, the next thing that you see, that water might even go as far as the homes of the people, especially those living in the marginalized communities where we live. And then we will have diseases and all sorts of stuff. And the environment will not be a pleasant place for us to exist in any longer.
Okay, perfect. So let's wind down a little bit. So looking back on your journey, what lessons have you learned about leadership, faith, and community through your work?
Okay. So the biggest lesson for me has been the fact that leadership has a lot to do with sacrifice. You have to die a lot.
To be honest, look at
Jesus. Yes, like for you to really be able to accomplish an aspect of you as a leader, there is sacrifice that must be made. I had to sacrifice my job so that this project could be in existence. And there's been a lot of sacrifices that have been happening. Like I told you, I would also bring it back to the topic of menstruation. Remember, I told you I wasn't feeling too well. I wasn't going to be able to
you
come.
jinxed me.
Yes, because I was feeling very sick in the morning when you called. But you know what? I discovered that almost all the programs that I get called upon, especially when it's a topic that has to do with menstruation, it finds me on my menstruation. Yes, like 90% of the time.
Part is like we're both on our period.
Really?
You called me and you're like, I'm having cramps. I think I won't be able to make it. And actually, I called you. I won't be able to make it. I was like, okay, are you okay? Okay, let me know by 14 if you feel okay. And then an hour after that conversation, I was like, no. Why? Is it because she said it?
So you know, you have to look beyond you. It's not about me. So if it was about me, I would have stayed in my comfortable bed and nursing my cramps. But hey, what will that benefit me? I had to step out. And also the whole idea is to create an environment where menstruation is no longer a limitation to the things that we want to accomplish as women. And I have taught myself that because of the vision that I'm trying to push, it has to start with me.
Of course.
Yes, and I have to be ready to sacrifice,
you.
no matter how painful
Exactly.
the crumbs may
I mean,
be.
it's never been a limitation. Look at how far we've come as women. Look at
Yes.
how much we've achieved, and
Yes.
we've done it while bleeding.
Yes.
And we've done it with cramps,
Yes.
very bad cramps.
Yes,
And
like right now.
studies have shown that, exactly like right now, studies have shown that cramps is like equivalent to a heart attack.
Yes.
And we do that.
Yes.
Guys, what?
And we still step out.
We don't get enough credit.
No, we don't.
We really don't get enough credit.
Yeah.
Exactly. And like you, I love that you said that leadership requires a lot of sacrifice.
Yes.
Doing what you do requires a lot of sacrifice. And as you were speaking, I was thinking about myself, and I'm just like, you know what?
Someone's about to confess.
Honestly, no, not really.
Not really?
Like, listen, like, you know what? It feels so good for someone like yourself, for other people that are doing what you're doing or in the same line of like what you're doing, actually come out and say, look, it's actually hard,
It
eh?
is.
It is to
very
do
hard.
this, eh?
Yeah.
And that's why I said community is very important.
Yes.
And this is why I'm building a community through the podcast, right? And me as myself, before the podcast, before me meeting people like you, I would think, is this normal? Honestly, like, should I be going through this?
Exactly.
Like, guys,
you definitely get to that place where you even begin to wonder, like, okay, at the end of the day,
Is it
why
worth it?
am I really giving up so much just for me to But you when you look at it at an angle, particular angle, you discover that it's actually worth it. Because what you will leave after everything has been said and done is not just going to remain with you.
Your footprints.
Yes, your footprints will really impact. Will leave a very big impact at the end of the day, no matter how small.
I am comforted. Like, I am really, really every
I'm
time
glad.
every time I have these conversations, I'm just like, I'm comforted.
I'm glad.
Because
I actually feel comforted as well.
honestly, because now, as you were speaking, I was just remembering the meme Kanayo or Kanayo, like sacrifices. Sacrifice. And when you're sitting alone in your room, you're just like, Lord, please give me the strength. I don't know how I'm gonna do this. Sometimes I am not creative. Sometimes I don't know what my next step will be or who my next guest will be. What am I gonna talk about? Because even when I was starting this podcast, and trust me, I have been pitching this idea for like 2 years.
Really?
And a lot of people have been, people always have an opinion.
Yes.
Yeah. Not always the best. And as someone that always thinks she can control everything, I learned it the hard way that I cannot control everything. And I can't.
Especially people's opinions.
Exactly. And you can't let everything get to you. And you can't listen to everything.
Exactly.
And the last conversation I had before I started this, someone was like, menstrual health. Like, it's not the only thing I'll be talking about. It's just one of the things. So, like, but then there's only so much you can talk about. And I was like,
I understand.
It's like, why am I going through this? And it was so hard, even just to start, even just to begin. It was
hard.
hectic. Still, it is. I'm not saying now it's easy. Still, it is. There are ups and downs. But then when you listen to other young leaders like yourself talk about how, regardless of what is thrown in their way, they keep moving, and I'm so comforted. So thank you so much for sharing your story and your journey with not only me, but people that are watching this as well, and people that are looking to start their own journey of advocacy and leadership. So what message would you give young people listening to this right now who feel lost, and who feel maybe they don't have a gift or a purpose yet?
Okay. So I must make mention to begin with that there is no one here on earth that does not have anything to give. We all have something to give. You have something to give. And the moment that you will recognize that, the day that it's going to dawn on you that you actually have a gift, you must be courageous enough to take that step. Because remember, that particular moment when it dawns on you to take a particular step or an idea dawns on you, you're not the only one that that idea has dawned on. Maybe 3-4 people or thousands of people have the same idea in the universe, and the only thing that would differentiate you is your ability to take the first step, like I said, which is like the hardest thing to do. So my encouragement is whatever idea that you have, if you have already gotten to that place where you have conceived something that you want to do, take that step, because someone else is also thinking about that, doing the very thing. And it will be very heartbreaking for you to see another person progressing in the same area that you also had an opportunity to like progress. So don't wait until someone else does it, because God is not like a respecter of man. Like he's not a God of partiality. He will not favor you and say, "Oh, I'm just waiting for this particular person." Yeah. Remember, he says even in his word that if we don't sing his praises, then the rocks will sing in our places. So if you don't carry out that mission, God is going to call on the rocks, and the rocks will serve him in that particular field. Yes.
I love that. I was like, clock it. Okay,
Yeah.
so one more thing. What does purpose mean to you?
Okay. Purpose for me is living the will of God. Living in the will of God and outliving your life, outliving yourself, not living any part of you without the world experiencing it. God did not bring us here to just exist and just drag through life. He put us here so that we could bring out the best of what he has deposited in us. Like Miles Monroe says, the richest place in the world is the grave, because it has buried so many ideas. It has buried so many books that were not written. It has buried so many songs that were not sung, so many words that were not spoken. So if you have been given an opportunity to do something, do it to the best that you can ever do it. If you discover that you have the gift to write as many books as you can write. If you've discovered that you can sing, write as many songs. If you're given the opportunity to speak to the best level that you can ever speak.
You are preaching. You are preaching. Honestly, I think next time I'm not gonna be here, girl. She's gonna host the next episode. I'm not gonna.
I would love to be the host.
Honestly,
I
please,
would,
by all means.
I would receive that with so much credit.
So, and finally, what is next for Her Gift and His Gift Foundation, and how can our listeners support you and get involved?
Okay, so currently we have focused much on the menstruation aspect of it, but we are going to embark on the journey of the entrepreneurship and sustainability aspect of it, environmental sustainability aspect of it. So we're going to launch a program called the Earth Friendly Market and Research Institute, which is going to be like a co a in courts. It's going to be a program that we will be hosting at the American Embassy, where we will be training on sustainable entrepreneurship or eco-friendly entrepreneurship, as well as how that is very much beneficial for the sustainability of the environment and the existence of man. Yeah, so we will be having training sessions like every year, where we will take up maybe 6 weeks or more to educate people on that. And yeah, basically.
Wow. So where can they find you? You haven't told them your socials.
Okay, so we are present on FB, TikTok, Instagram, and what else? I think that's it.
That's it.
LinkedIn.
LinkedIn.
Yes, as Her Gift and His Gift Foundation on in Her Gift and His Gift Foundation on Facebook, LinkedIn. Yes, Facebook and LinkedIn is Her Gift and His Gift Foundation. But we also have a page that we just launched on Facebook, which is called Minstrel Dignity. Yes, you can look out for Minstrel Dignity on Facebook as well as Instagram, and then you can look out for Minstrel Gift Pads on TikTok.
That is beautiful. Okay, so that's LinkedIn, that's Facebook, that's TikTok, that's Instagram. Yes. And then the one on Facebook with the menstrual health is
Both Heart Gift and
Mentor
His Gift
Dignity.
Foundation, but the Miss Joe Dignity is like the one that's going to be taking up a lot of that, because that's like what's going to be focusing much on. But for the Heart Gift and His Gift page, we will still continue with the programs under administration, but we're going to be complex. Yes, because we want to make it open also for the entrepreneurship programs and the environmental sustainability programs.
Okay.
Moreover, Heart Gift and His Gift Foundation is a mother body that is bathing a lot of other concepts.
Okay. That's amazing. That's amazing. Again, I cannot emphasize this enough. Thank you so much for joining us today and for sharing such a beautiful story, such a beautiful journey. Thank you so much, Catherine.
Thank you for hosting me. You are doing a very good job.
Oh, you hear that,
Yes,
guys?
I must
Louder than here.
commend you for this as well. This is like the only program I have seen.
Really?
Yes, on Zambian platforms. That is like embraced menstruation the way you've embraced it, especially that it's a television podcast.
Yeah.
Most people want to talk about the normal things, things that people are used to. But for you to be courageous enough and just bring up something like menstruation, like you said, people are like, menstruation and whatnot. I know it's not the only thing that you discuss, but I understand it's like taken a major part of it. Yeah. And it's something that I can applaud you for that.
Oh, thank you so much.
Doing a great job.
Blush. Speaking of blush, I compose myself. I gotta close this. Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome.
And also, it's so inspiring to see Her Gift and His Gift Foundation redefining empowerment, and not just for girls but boys as well, which is amazing for every person with a dream. As long as you can dream it, there's Her Gift and His Gift Foundation ready to help you and push you towards it. So you're like God's vessel. Honestly, you're doing the Lord's work right now.
Definitely.
And to everyone listening, and remember this, okay? Everyone listening, remember this. We all have a gift, and it might be a whisper. It might be a passion. It might be a small idea, but with the right support, it can change everything. It can change lives. So remember to check out Her Gift and His Gift on all their social media platforms, and of course, don't forget to like, share, subscribe to the Flow podcast on YouTube and across all social media platforms. Until next time, keep flowing with purpose, keep flowing for change, and keep flowing forward. Goodbye for now.